Big up yourself, graduates. I see you. I see you. Big up yourself. It's an earlier one than usual tonight because, as you know, my husband's birthday is coming up. So it's all about him. And I want to get this finished early, get this over and done with because I don't know about you, but I think it's full time that we move on. Right. So let me just hail up everybody in the house. Big up yourself, gals. So nice. I see you, Marencha. Nama, big up yourself. Don, big up yourself. Right. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Blessed one, welcome Ingrid W. Good afternoon. Indeed, indeed. Steph B, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. Karen Thomas, good afternoon. Stacy McDonald, hello. And June Sundak, big up yourself. Jeanette Johnson, my member, big up yourself. Good evening, good evening. Cut and Full Cakes by Tina Bent, the best cakes ever. You are in the place. Big up yourself, my good gal. Sherry Hall, big up yourself. Linda G. Bless. I see you. I see you. Yes, man. Listen and work. Listen and work. The Easy Jerk World, manners and respect. Elita December. Hello, hello. Loving and caring. Good evening. Pamela Clark. Good evening. Elita December. Good afternoon. And Kimon Black. Good afternoon. Let me show my face a little bit. Let me show my face a little bit. Move my mouse. So I am about to have some unpopular opinions, and Lord have mercy. May the good Lord protect me. But, I think it's full time that it's said, right? Yes. I think it's full time that it's said. We have been surrounded by a lot of drama for the past few days on social media once again. But the aim of this class is always to pull out the lessons to be learned. Because there's a lesson in everything, even in the mix-up. Oh, yes, even in the mix-up, there's a lesson in absolutely everything. After all, mix-up is about human behavior. And I think a lot of people tend to see things and think, oh, avoid the mix-up, avoid the mix-up. But what you're really seeing are human emotions playing out in the rawest form. And sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. So on this occasion, for this class, the two situations that I'm going to address are unfortunately not the funny parts of social media drama or social media mix-up. And I'm going to start with a serious matter. Well, both are serious, but an even more serious matter because it involves minors. I'm going to start with that first, because I really, really, really hate it when people miss the point when it comes to kids. I don't like red herrings when it comes to kids, when it comes to safeguarding children, for that purpose, we should be going above and beyond as a community. And I find it so strange how easily it is the attitude of some to sweep certain things under the table, or to pretend as though what we witnessed was not a big deal, or to act as though it is not in the interest of the public to discuss it. I can't deal with that when it comes to children. And this is where we are failing as a society on a whole, because once upon a time, it took a village to raise a child. Once upon a time. Certainly when I was growing up, if I was on the streets and I misbehaved, 9 times out of 10, the word got home before I got home. And what would greet me would be an immediate consequence. Sometimes it was fire from licks. because that was our culture. But a consequence was guaranteed if you were out in the open dropping your standards of behavior. But nowadays, it's like, I know my picnic. So if I mind my business, me not say nothing to that picnic there. Because me no want the mama can rush me. Leave them, make them go on about their ways, because you might go open your mouth and you go get something from that same child. People are afraid to speak. People are afraid to help, to guide and govern children, youth nowadays. But what I witnessed, we need to talk about it. And I think because the person who originally spoke about it or brought it out to the wider atmosphere is somebody who they consider to be a blasted troublemaker, somebody who they consider to be a person who is very confrontational, them call her scammer, Ray. I don't know, I'm not involved in that part of the world. But because of who it is that brought it to the forefront, and because it is clear that this person has a personal vendetta because of past issues with the parents of these young people, it's looked at as yet another derogatory attack. On this occasion, I'm going to call you Lady with the Alphabet. Focus on my voice. While I get ready, in the meantime, let me go through my audience and big up who's here, who I've missed from before, okay? Pamela Clark, good evening. Angela Lewis, good evening. Star Trist, hello. I think it's the first I've seen that name. Welcome to HTK Speaks. Angela Lewis, good evening. I think I may have said hello to you before. Karen Thomas, good day. Open Topics, good evening. Black P, big up yourself, my member. It is what it is. Blessings. Simone Barton Joseph, good evening. Nika Hines, big up yourself. And Shirley Shaw. Wicked people. Every time I see your name, I have a day with laugh, you know. Wicked people, good evening. Daddy Kush, good afternoon, sir. All right. Like I have always said, whenever it is that I'm going to discuss something that will not necessarily reflect well on your brand and where I see you, I am not going to call you by your normal social media handle. It is more or less for your own protection and to ensure that there is less of a timestamp all over the internet of what I have to say. In other words, this is purely for my graduates and possibly for your ears if you choose to listen. Okay, Carola, I see. All right. Okay, Nika, I got your message. So yeah. Lady with the alphabet. Lady with the alphabet. I am sure by now you have seen the viral video. And it is viral because it is everywhere. It is all over Instagram. It is all over Pinkwall. It is all over TikTok. It is on various platforms on YouTube. It is on various platforms on on what do you call it there? Facebook. It's everywhere. And I noticed that you took to your platform and you took to your platform purely for the purpose of addressing one particular blogger who has ridden your name considerably over a period of time, who has called you out of your name, called your daughter out of her name, and so on and so forth. And that is what you sought to address. You made it very clear that your minor son should never be a victim of any form of cyberbullying from this particular party, to which I agree resoundingly. However, I am going to be fair. This individual, when she was discussing the issue, I did not hear any form of potential cyberbullying, excepting at the part where it said it appeared that this young man may have been being groomed. That's the dangerous part. But the other stuff that was said was not a lie. No. And as much as you don't want to hear it from that person, I think it's important that we as a community recognize that this was not okay. It was not okay at all. For one thing, if you're going to go for that one, you're going to have to go for every single one of them that has that young man's face plastered everywhere, having such discussions with his sister. It needs to be taken down. I have personally written to Pinkwall and asked her to take it down. I don't know if she's listened. Because that is a child. And the adult in that situation was his sister. That was failed safeguarding on every level. Under no circumstance should something like that have been made public for the piranhas to latch onto and attack this young man. Not so much your daughter, because she's a big woman. And as much as you may still see her as your baby, to me, she's an adult. So I can cut my eye past there, so. But I can't cut my eye past that little boy. That was exposure on a different level. I'm vegan. Don't worry if you're lost. Just listen to the message. My graduates know what I'm talking about, and I'm deliberately not going into too much detail. Because I know no like to go dig up and dig up. But the point I'm making is, think about the image that has been portrayed based on what is blatantly known about your daughter. No matter how much you love her, that is nothing to aspire to. Now it has become evident that this information is infiltrating the young man's school environment and is being used to taunt him. These kind of things, while I can understand a brotherly, sisterly communication taking place off air, where he's expressing what takes place at school, that cannot be helped, because children get access to adult material, unfortunately, as a result of the electronic media age that we are in. So no matter how much we try to protect them, and to ring fence the information that they have access to. These children are very clever. They always find a way. So no doubt these are discussions I'm sure as a responsible mother you would have already had with your child to protect him and to preempt human nature in all your wisdom. And I have no doubt that you would have given firm reprimand to your daughter for what took place. But on such a public scale, it was really important that you addressed the core matter at hand, that it should never have taken place, and that you condemned that behavior, and that you have taught or at least reinforced the boundaries that should exist where your minor son is concerned on social media. Brothers and sisters will speak about anything they want to speak about because they are siblings. But the world should never have been privy to that information. We should not have seen that child unalive speaking about such adult matters based on the fact that his sister has chosen a particular lifestyle in response to her trauma. He should never have been on the live. I'm not saying he should not have expressed himself to his sister. I'm saying that live should never have taken place, especially given the very use of that platform to advertise the lifestyle of your of your daughter. He should be nowhere near it. He should be miles apart. And it's disappointing that it gets to the point of let's just focus on the bullying rather than focusing on the safeguarding. I would have loved to hear you take to your platform to ask people to spam report each post they see with that little boy. It is not his fault, whatever choices his sister has made. It isn't his fault that there will be children who will talk and who will react in an inappropriate manner. But it is his sister's fault that he has fallen prey to cyberbullying from overexposure on social media. Without a doubt. We really have to do better as a community of people. Now, let me tell you this. I'm not coming out here to condemn no little child about something that they have said that was not appropriate. Children say and do inappropriate things all the time. I don't believe there is any one person out here that has a perfect child, no matter how they portray them. All of our children do damn outardness. And we wish we could have did stop them from do it and them do it anyway. And no matter what rules and regulations we put down, they still do outardness. You understand me? But at the end of the day, how we handle it, how we teach them lessons from it is the penultimate. It is important that that information is taken down off the airwaves. And all that legal glamour that you are reserving to go after some loudmouth blogger, use it and take down those images from those platforms of your child. Get them reported. To me, that is more a significant win than anything else. There is no way that Miner's face should be remembered like that in the early part of his formative years. That is what I wanted to hear you come out and chew fire about. The fact that bloggers feel that they have to post every blasted thing and that they can't speak about it without showing and putting a child at further risk of being handled by miscreants out here. I said the thing hurt me. I reported every one that I saw. But me alone cannot do it. And if any of you graduates come across it, report it. Report. Because sometimes even pink walls, she no know are limited. Because I don't know why in goodness name you would want that on circulation. So because the girl clearly knows no better, there is no village to raise a child anymore. Come on, man. We have to do better. We have to do better. Stop spending so much time going after people were so old and setting at them ways that will probably never ever change. Fight the battle that matters, which is to protect that young man. And at the end of the day, I really hope you angled the triangle when it came to your daughter, because that was out of order. Daddy Kush, I will not tell you where it is. That was out of order beyond belief. It's not everything must be shared. And that is one of the risks of children being overexposed on social media. And that is the fact that they tend to overshare. They do not understand social boundaries in terms of what to communicate and what not to communicate. He was placed in a sticky position by the questions that was asked from somebody who was supposed to be his guardian at the time, his older sibling. It isn't funny. And trust and believe it will have far-reaching consequences beyond what is seen on screen. And I'm certain if you as a mother were to be honest and speak woman to woman with me at one point, I bet you will tell me that your son's behavior is not always how it ought to be because of these conflicts. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because I know I'm not. Okay, so you think it's a fake one, blessed one? Do you think it's a fake one? Because I saw it because I followed more than one page. So it's somebody that take the pink one name and run a page. But still, that's probably why they haven't. I just checked now. Hold on. They haven't taken it down despite me messaging them. You understand me? At the end of the day, we as a village, it takes to raise a child. If anybody was to see my children doing something untoward, I'd want them to correct them and say, no, your mother or your father would not be happy with that behavior. Stop it. But we are now in this age and saga where everything dash out pan line and everything is a giggle. It's not everything funny, man, especially when it comes to kids. They have to go on with this life. They have to carry on with this life. You understand? And they have to carry that with them. This is a risky situation. There's no way that kind of discussion should be coming out of his mouth. But like I said, it is not his fault. So what are we to do to protect our children from these kind of exposures that are placed on the internet at their fingertips? Mothers and fathers who have got Wi-Fi in your household, turn on the parent protection, the filters. There is a setting where you can put parental controls even on your Amazon Fire Stick. You can filter out adult content. You can put down the names of particular websites that you want blocked. And if it's not attached to your Wi-Fi service provider, you can put it on their electronic items. There are lots of parent control apps to download onto the phones, onto the tablets, onto the laptops that are freely accessible. And I think you get even more protection when you pay a subscription fee. Be proactive in stopping certain things. Ban them from going live, because lives, once they're out there, cannot be controlled. They go beyond measure. Speak to your children about the fact that what they do on the internet, it will stick like a permanent tattoo, irreversible, and can have detrimental effect when it comes to their future prospects and career. Why in God's name would this child want to be known as the brother of a porn star? No matter how much he loves her, it is not something admirable. And I'm not mincing my words. Protect him. Protect him. But anyway, I'm not going to dwell too long on that. It is a raw truth. Whether you like it or not, it's a dose of castor oil. I do not agree with it. And I think it is more important to address that than to address some loudmouth blogger that you don't have no ratings for, where I always I write your name. Let's deal with that. And no disrespect to the loudmouth blogger. I'm talking about you in terms of how she may regard you, right? Because she called you a salop in front of the picnic as well. So, you know, all them kind of something there. You're letting her get you out of character, man. For those of you who don't know what a salop is French Creole for a pros. You understand me? All them kind of something there. Not the way, man. Not the way. Anyway, let me keep moving. Done with that now. Be careful what energies you invite into your household. Be careful what energies you invite into your household. You hear what me I said to you? Be careful what energies you invite in your yard, because some of us are too relaxed. Some of us are too open-minded. And when we invite all kinds of levels of demons into our house and they wreak havoc left, right, and center, and from corner to corner and pillar to post, we then take to the internet when our lives fall apart. Big up yourself, Ingrid Barnett. You're just jumping on. You were at work. Simple hearts, and that should not be decided for him as a child. He should definitely decide that when he becomes an adult. Right there, so. Dion McLean, so true HDK, very sickening, seriously. Valerie Russell, before it got to this, I heard a blogger said that it would affect the young man as it is all over social media and he's now very valuable, very valuable. I think you mean vulnerable. These young generations, June says, is so advanced, they call us old people. Let me not tell you. You understand? But at the end of the day, no matter how old they think we are, you know, we have wisdom over understanding. And they need the guidance for it, but we also need to execute that. You understand? Stop putting energies where it don't belong and focus on whatever you can rescue. But like I said, be careful of the energies that you invite in your household. Now I'm going to speak directly about Omar and Kamar. Of course, I've been following the drama. I've been on almost all the lives, commenting, more or less saying, what the hell? Oh my God, Lord Jesus, that's Christ. You understand? Because everything has been shocking to me. Everything has been shocking. Everything has been like, then people really live so mighty Father. No, sir. Mighty God of Daniel. Is this real? But I'm telling you, it's very real. Some of us lead very open lifestyles. And I'm going to say this. I am not here to bash either of these two men, either Kamar or Omar. I'm not going to bash any of them. And before I go into what I have to say, Rose, Kitchen and Vlogs, you did a live. And you said some things I was not about to answer in the comments because that's your space to speak your truth and to talk your opinions. But I am going to say this. You spoke specifically about Nanalyn and how you felt that they more or less neglected her, abandoned her, cut her off unnecessarily when Nanalyn had done them nothing. I want you to understand, Sister Rose, that was a blessing. Okay? That was a blessing in disguise. You need to understand. You need to, boy, this life sweet, but I have to go to the people that work. That's all right, sweetheart. Don't make this life make you lose your job. You can always come back and listen to the dead. So what me I say no? You see this whole thing? Look at the lifestyle that they were living. As you can see, it was obviously quite complicated, layered. You could tell that they were not necessarily, in terms of moral integrity, walking a path of righteousness. Nanalyn is not only a wonderful, phenomenal businesswoman with a great heart and a huge propensity for kindness, right? But she's also a brand in herself and closely connected with 33 times 3. Now, if they know that their lifestyle is such that it can bring ill repute, doesn't it make sense that they take themselves away from high-profile figures whose names might be tarnished should anything come out? Think about it. The last thing you would have wanted was for Nanalyn's name to be drawn into this. So sometimes when God works things out, let's not question it. And don't feel any way about it. Nanalyn now should be breathing a sigh of relief. You understand? Right there, so. But I'm going to say this. I'm not bashing either of them, but I am going to tell it like it is. Both you, Kamar, and you, Omar, on a life was very messy. And we only know that because you have invited our energies into your privacy. You have revealed it all for the public to inspect, and therefore we have every right to dip in our mouths. You're going to get judged, you're going to get opinions, you're going to get everything coming your way because you have presented the opportunity. Now, while this is about venting for Kamar, revealing his pain, offloading so that it's a part of his healing process, be very aware that there are those who are listening quite objectively, not necessarily choosing a side, and also hearing flaws in terms of how it is that you approached your very own marriage. Well, relationship that could have led to marriage. Me always say marriage, can come in like una husband and wife. Be not lie. You both had by tendencies. Let's not mismatch it. But Omar in particular did. The fact that he, as your partner, was coming to you with a craving for the female touch should have shown you that the man was in a state of conflict. It sounded to me like he was 9 times out of 10 the one coming to you to introduce such dynamics to your relationship. So why did you feel it necessary to be complicit in such an act, despite the fact that you only had eyes for him? You placed yourself at a substandard level where he was able to have his cake and eat it too, and you are not the first or the last to do so. I don't care about your genders. Many have done this, and it never works. The moment you decide that you are going to put somebody ahead of yourself to the point where you sacrifice your own ethics, morals, standings in order to appease your partner, you have lost not only yourself, but you have also lost your understanding of what a committed relationship is supposed to look like. You were complicit, you were compliant, and therefore you were manipulated and used because you allowed it. And it is full time somebody just says it and stops the pussyfooting around the issue. And that is not a bad word. I mean, I have some people we're not supposed to in my class where he chop in my class. We can't pussyfoot around the issue. If you welcome certain, let me tell you something, I'm going to take it on a spiritual level. You see, when you sleep with people and you do so skin to skin, you know what you're doing? You are exchanging energies. Have you heard of a soul tie before, graduates? Every person that you connect with skin to skin, you exchange energies and you exchange genes, as in their blood becomes a part of your blood. No matter how you think, you have walked away from that one night stand, that little fling. The moment you go skin to skin with that person, you have absorbed some of their genetic coding. And that forms a spiritual tie. You literally adapt your own genetic makeup when you take on another person's body without protection. Listen to what me I tell you now, because of facts me I teach you now. And you see, when you do that, have you ever heard of the phrase, sin is in the blood? Okay. You tie your soul to that individual. There is a lot more involved. You take on a part of that person's sins, retribution, generational curses. I could go on and on. And of course, if they're good, you also take on some of their blessings. But I'm trying to tell you this. Be careful what energies you invite in your life. And when you toy with energies and you're taking on, because it's demons when you take on, because you don't see, you're in a turmoil. It can't be anything good you've taken on. Because if it was anything good you took on, it would not be where it is today. You took on demons, Jezebels. And those things are ripping you apart. You toyed with your own souls. It was not okay to say, yes, you can have that go-go dancer. It was not okay to say, yes, you can bring in that person while you were supposed to be in an established union in order to keep him happy because of his desire. That was not okay. And when you did that, you facilitated channels to be opened up where any kind of temptation, any kind of evil spirit could have attacked your mental health. And that's exactly what it did to Omar. Because you know, all the people look upon people and say they're mad. And them don't know sometimes it's because their energies are so high frequency and them themselves don't know if they control it. You understand me? Sometimes you see some people lose it and then you carry them up in some mountain top upon some retreat where them get to meditate and get in touch with them spiritual self. And you see how them level off up there so. I'm vegan, you better believe it. You gave him the go-ahead to cheat on you. You gave him the go-ahead to explore his wanton desires. You gave him the go-ahead to also cast you aside. You gave him permission to do it. And now that it has hit the fan, you are feeling the pain of it because you truly loved him. But I'm going to tell you this, Kamar. Love does not mean self-sacrifice. We have been there. Women in the chat, tell me, say, oh, no, know what me I talk about. Where you give of yourself so much that you lose yourself. And I'm here today to tell you, to hell with that crap. You must love your partner. You must be selfless with your partner. But you mustn't love your partner more than you love yourself. Never do that. The moment you do that, you lose. So I am not going to focus on Omar wanting a woman or wanting to be the woman. I am not even going to focus on the quality of woman when I'm there with and whether or not she a Jezebel, I feel lie, I feel destructive, and whether or not I'm pregnant. I do business. I feel them pregnant that. I am focusing on the energies you invited. So stop lamenting and stop asking for remembrance. Because none of that is going to help you. Because right now, his soul tie is with that very same one you regard as a Jezebel. And if you put yourself in a position to even be close to him and be no godfather of no child, and temptations rise, and you end up in that menage a trois, you will hugely regret it. You understand me? It is really important that you put things to rest. Because, of course, already the vengeance starts and everybody wants to come and say, look how Omar wicked, Omar this, Omar that. I'm not beating Omar. I am not beating Omar at all. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's hot. But I'm going to say it straight. Omar has made his choice. We don't have to like it. And I don't like how he dealt with it. But he has made his choice. And in any relationship, either of us have the right to walk away. We have the right to say we don't want this anymore. And we want that instead. There is no obligation. We don't own people. We may not like how they separate from us. We may not like that they disregarded the love that we gave. But sometimes them need to go out there and realize that the love that you gave is priceless and irreplaceable. And they have to suffer the loss. Let him go. Stop asking to be remembered. I feel it for you. I do feel it for you. But at some point, you have to take accountability for the fact that you were too giving, too complicit, too compliant with energies that you actually repelled. Because you know what, a woman, even if you've been there, done that, you truly only desired him. But how is it okay to only desire somebody and that person wants what you don't have? It's not okay. Stop selling yourself short. Not because they call you short, man. Don't sell yourself short, man. Half of no tree not growing on your face. Eh? You're not the one where going my house. You have a lot to give, but you see this lesson? It's going to teach you not to give too much again. It's going to teach you not to do that. I want to stop latching on to other women. Whoever it is that you move on to next. No latch on and no female. Because that was the first thing that started happening that showed up where your relationship was going to end up. And like I said, I am not going to bash Omar either, because it is clear that he was in a paradoxical state, self-conflicted state, and that would have mad anybody. You have to live your truth. You can't live a fake life. And trust and believe if what he has chosen now is a fake life, he might go mad out again. It's only a matter of time. God forbid, but you leave that to the energies that be. You understand? You leave that to the energies that be. It is full time. Somebody has to tell you. And I know that a lot of people are getting all excited because some people can't stand tall, man. Some people, you know, some people are quick for the drama to say, oh my God, he was always for women and he was deceiving us and I am not focusing on that because you guys are missing the immaculate details that he has clearly delivered. The fact that he facilitated it. His partner, Kamar, facilitated Omar's miscreant behavior. You open the gateway for demons to come into your temples. It is early days. I agree, Yvette. But you know what's not early days? The internet. And the more he comes out here, the more that will be his permanent reputation. So while it is in early days and he's not quite ready, he now needs to get a dose of castor oil to give him caution. Stop saying so much on the internet. You understand me? He has vented, him going through different phases. But think, because at some point, you know, the emotions have to put down, you know, and rational have to take over. That's a part of grieving a relationship too, when you become very calculating After you get all of that pain and the crying out, you turn into a beast. Happens to all of us. Only a matter of time. But you don't want him to turn into a beast in a right way, right? If he decide, listen, anybody is absolutely right. Let me tell you something. I am not going to say I'm happy for or I'm angry with or the relationship in my shop. I don't business with that. I don't business if Omar say he want jump again from girl to bottom. Me no business. I don't business if Kamar and Omar say them are go back together. I don't business. I don't business. It's not my life. On God, I don't care. But what I'm saying is, when you do not protect your space that you are trying so hard to keep together and you open up your space for multiple people to enter and to ruin it. And then when one fractures it, what you consider to be permanently, because it may not be permanent, but the way it look now, it look like a this and the thing set. Is tears and anger and, thinking that, Omar is ungrateful and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying he isn't all of that, but I'm saying you knew he was all of that. You just chose not to see the red flags like so many of us when we go through abusive relationships. We all go through abusive relationships. I don't think there is any woman that can say that they haven't had one element of abuse or another. Some of us probably never get licked in our life. Some of us probably never get tell a bad word, but some of us experience neglect. Some of us experience psychological manipulation. There's different things that you go through until you settle on the ideal relationship. And even the ideal relationship has its ups and downs. I am saying to you that you are not the first nor the last. But stop trying to make it seem as though Omar is obligated to look in your direction. What I do not appreciate is the fact that he came into your house and took your property. Because once he had given those gifts, he should never have taken that back. That's a low blow. But right now it's pang for pang. Because every time you come out, him feel he have to do something. And obviously, him have it tried look like him a do something in the eyes of the woman. Took a woman very bad at boosting man ego, Yeah. So don't forget there may be influence. But I'm trying to say, right now, you should be thinking strategically about self-preservation. Your landlord that talk about, that you can't put on lock, you think, say me that listen? Yo, you see like, me, I figure lose that the least there. I would have changed the lock pan in cloth. Listen, there are certain locks out there where you can change it, and then when you go, you change it back, and you can do it yourself. Change the locks. You think so no landlord can come tell me nothing? You're about to lose the lease anyway. Landlord can do one. What you want about? You think every system you need to listen to? What are you saying? You tell your landlord you're in a situation of domestic abuse and your landlord is telling you that you can't change locks? Landlord can go kick rocks without shoes and play in a traffic. Because you're done go lose the lease already, that lock would be changed. Can't talk to me? You're in a whole country where if you decide to squat and not pay your bills, them can't kick you out without a whole procedure. So what the hell's the landlord gonna do if you change the locks? Change it and change it back when you're ready for leave. And then a hard thing. It's about being safe and starting to make your forward plans of how to live without this individual in your life. How to grieve a relationship that was clearly very unhealthy. Because it was unhealthy. Too much exchanges of spirits and energies. It was unhealthy. And then to be going through all of that and going into the church of the Lord to hallelujah and amen, pan choir and front seat, it not go work, my youth. No church not gonna be that open-minded because they're built on ancient civilization principles of heterosexuality. So at the end of the day, no matter how modernized the church is, where they're accepting of gay relationships, the majority of the congregation are always going to be in angst about it. So you can't expect, say, having gone public like this, you can carry on as normal. Me like you, me that left the church temporarily and keep church in my yard. There is no reason at all to expect a church to put up with it. You understand? Thanks for raising the point on spirituality and energy. Wish more people would be aware of this. They don't even understand. You know, let me tell you something, Shirley. When I was growing up as a little girl, teenage girl, all of my friends were busy being sexually active. I was not. Took me ages to break my ducks, you know. Me keep me kin quiet for a long time. Especially in comparison to my friend them. And you know why? Because I heard this discussion being discussed by two old ladies in the country. Yeah. And it frightened the life out of me to imagine that everybody that I could potentially have slept with, I would have walked away with a piece of them inside me permanently. Me said, Jesus Christ. No, my love. Mm-mm. No, 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 sir. It made me cautious, particular. You hear me say? Mm-hmm. And even then, me still never perfect with it, but it certainly limited me from a lot in comparison to my friend name. Trust and believe. You understand? Yeah. I had an ex who left me and I had no clue. He literally started dating someone who was a mutual friend. So easier said than done because it was the roughest period of my life, but I overcame. And you hear all that? No, that was, you see, this was you. This is the difference, Ingrid. You were not inviting energies. You had energies forced upon you. And those kind of people must be dealt with in the harshest way possible. But Ingrid, in this case, between Omar and Kemar, it was not a case of a nah look lick. I want you to understand. It was not a nah look lick. It was a lick that could come at any time. You hear what I'm saying? And sometimes when we see the writing on the wall and we choose to put our blinders on and we choose to ignore it, it's nobody's fault but our own. When things go a certain way, we can't pretend as though it was never a possibility, right? And clearly the young man was conflicted to the point where it affected his mental health. It affected his mental health so badly that he ended up institutionalized as a result of it. That should have been a big warning for you, Kemar. It would have been a big warning for you. Be careful what energies you invite into your household and what you expose yourselves to. Right? Sometimes, just like my friend Ingrid here said, sometimes you can't be prepared because you don't know that your partner is doing what they're doing. You're being deceived then. And by all means, you have every right, yes, to rage and carry on. But I'm seeing a man who is raging and carrying on about something that was strongly indicative from the get-go. That's the difference. I can understand if you be like people, you know, say me never know say him did like pum pum at all. Yes. If that is what I heard, where he said, I didn't know that him like pum pum, me never know say pum pum rule in this jurisdiction. then we would have upon, hey, you understand? Everybody would have run out with their chest and say, listen to me, no man. You have to go down today. You understand? This is what we would all be doing. But that's not the case. You were very honest and open. You told the story. Him look on you and say, oh, him want taste that thing there over there. So you say, all right, just make him happy. Then him say, you know, the nun. No, the sister nun. You know, sister nun, things mad him up, mad up his head. Put him in a state of confusion where him a question himself so much him realize, say, him not be true to himself. Now that they husband them, you know how that their husband they feel when he walk in and catch them. That their husband they look very refined. Yeah. Una I exchange too much energy, una fit happy. Tap exchange them with energy. Let me tell you something. You know, one of the things when I love about myself, I've got a will of iron. I mean, I say that man can't give on, you know. But let me tell you this. You see, me not go out there go fling around my front all over the place. Hell to the no. And you see, because of that, God has blessed me. Let me tell you something. Me never catch a STI from a band, touch wood. And I am telling you this. Me no say the health of me down there is 100% right up there. Yes. Because me no dash with my body all over the place. I will have a long life when it comes to such matters. Because me not exchange my energies with no demons. You understand? And I make sure that I keep myself safe. You know, you see, listen, women, no matter how much you think say on husband committed or on a man committed, you know, take on a test, check on a health down there. Do on annual or on quarterly or on half yearly. Blood test them and make sure say everything is everything. Sis, with a good, you don't know. I'm not dash for myself all over the place. No, sir. To God be the glory. Right? To this day, my fight for going. Let me be myself. No, sir. Let me be myself. But all I'm saying, right? Let us just know that you made a mistake. You opened up your life. You thought that you would live a promiscuous lifestyle to the satisfaction of your partner. It did not work because the promiscuous lifestyle that you invited into your household took him away, absorbed him, and left you without. Because it cannot be described as anything else but promiscuous. Because that's what it was. You understand? I'm just saying, let us just be honest. It isn't necessarily about whether or not the man is entitled to move on. He is. It isn't about whether or not the man was ungrateful for the support. He is. He was. It's about intentions. It's about knowledge. You always knew your partner's intentions and inclinations. You always knew. So you shouldn't be surprised, as painful as it is. Right now, defend up your property. If it's anything of value, when take and you want to get it back, call the police. If it's nothing of value, then it can be done without and you rebuild. If you fear for your safety, screw that landlord. Change your locks. You're gonna go anyway because you can't maintain the lease. Yes? And it's about securing your future residence where somewhere you can afford and be comfortable. Anyway, big up on the night's clean self. Make sure to like up the live on your way out. I did tell you guys that I'm not going to stay long. It's now 20 minutes past 8. I've stayed over an hour with you, right? I hope you have enjoyed class with HTK Speaks, and I hope you have learned something, okay? I hope you have learned something. Life is full of challenges. We learn a lot, so we live a lot. Yes, there's always going to be drama on social media, but there's always a lesson to be learned no matter what drama there is, all right? Big up on yourself. This is your girl, HTK. Bye-bye.